it.
You named it, Hannah, and you know it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another one-shot on the Forever DM No More channel. So, hopefully this should be the last one-shot on this channel or this stream in particular for a little while. JJ should be back joining us again next week, hopefully. Everything is good with him. He is just resting and will, fingers crossed, be back with us next week. So, just a quick background on this particular one-shot. This is actually set in the Fortune's Tide universe, on the same continent, same city, so some of this should be familiar to you. However, this is set 200 years in the past, so the actions that our players take tonight will kind of reverberate through time and impact the political and social climate of the city-state of Odosia in the current campaign. So, we're going to get through some quick announcements, then we're going to jump right in. So, again, no JJ, but we'll be back next week. DeForest will return to Tuesday nights very soon, and we will begin his Crownsbane campaign. Should be this upcoming Tuesday. Am I wrong about that?
You are correct.
Huzzah! Yay, I got the dates right. So, Crownsbane campaign will switch off with the Waterdeep campaign every other Tuesday, as we have mentioned multiple times. So, come check that out and see Dee's debut dungeon mastering on this channel. He has run Starfinder, but he has not run D&D, so this is going to be exciting. Commissions. We have people taking commissions open. Jess, you're still doing commissions, correct? Mm-hmm. And it should... Oh, damn it. Hold on. I gotta change the Twitch overlay, because Twitch is being dumb. It didn't update with... Oh, wait. I didn't hit update information from OBS. That's why. So smart. Anyway, thank you for the notice. So Hannah is also doing commissions. Jess is doing commissions. Amber, are your commissions still closed for now? Okay. All right. So Libris Arcana. We are still sponsored by them, as far as I know, and they will continue to do so until we do something really, really stupid. And if you go to their... Say again?
Even then, they might give us a grace period.
That's fair. So, librisarcana.com, if you go, or .ca for the Canadians, if you go there and you subscribe to either their monthly or quarterly dice subscription service, you go to the checkout, enter FDM No More as a coupon code, you will get 20% off of your first shipment. So that's really cool. We're really proud to be partnered with them, and yeah, they're a cool company. So go there, buy stuff from them, tell them FDM No More sent you. Let's see, we have 2 follower goals for Twitch right now. We have our 150 follower goal, which we just got a new follower, so I think we're only 6 away now. I'll have to get on Twitch to double check. It's either 6 or 7. So you could be the one who puts us over that 150 follower mark on Twitch. Doesn't cost you anything, except a little bit of time. And if we get there, and we will, we are all going to try to play Honey Heist together. And when I say try, I only mean that we're going to try to get as many people as possible so that it's absolute chaos for whoever's running it. It's going to be great. We're going to play Honey Heist. We will have more about that once we actually hit that goal. If we hit 200, then we are going to do a Battle Royale with as many of the FDM No More crew as we can get. And that will just be madness. And, you know, why not? And hey, maybe we'll be drunk for it. Who knows? It'll be fun. So, last but not least, to reiterate, this Tuesday, DeForest's initial Crownsbane campaign introduction. Is that everything? Yes. You were making the face at me.
Oh.
I know that face.
Let's keep our eyes peeled. We are going to be having a new project that we are going to be announcing very, very, very soon. We are going to be available, this is the only hint you're getting for now, in a format that we have never been available in before. So, keep an eye on our Twitter for any of those juicy updates, and we will be officially announcing it next Sunday.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I think that is all of our announcements. We are not going to run our intro video tonight because, once again, we have people who are not normally here. Everybody welcome Megan. Megan. That's my wife right there. She is normally on our Tuesday show, but she is joining us tonight so that we have a full party because some of our other people could not make it. And because she's pretty cool, whatever. She's all right.
Yeah, I agree.
So yes.
You hear that, world? I'm cool.
All right. So we're not going to run the intro video, but we will do introductions very, very quickly. I am Hobert, a.k.a. the Friendly Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns. Let's go to Megan.
Salut! I'm Megan. I'm the Friendly Dungeon Master's wife. I play on Tuesday night stream. I use she, her pronouns.
Woo, let's go to Amber.
Hey, I'm Amber, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm excited for this game.
Let's go to Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah,
Other way.
creative director. I'm somewhere on the overlay.
There we go. It's real weird with this camera.
Yeah. And I use she, her pronouns.
Woo, let's go to Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess, she, her pronouns, and I'm also really excited for tonight.
Yeah. And then last but certainly not least, we have Marc.
I'm Marc. I go by he, him pronouns. You can find me here most Sundays. Occasionally I'm Bale, because babies make you do that. But I'm stoked. I'm excited and like cheery, and I know that this one shot's gonna crush all of that.
Yep.
And I'm kind of okay with that.
Yeah, get ready for the sads. All right, here we go. Many of us remember the MaLorian children. Their names are sometimes whispered in the dark, an ill-kept secret in the halls of the Enoxian Council. Scandals are fodder for the weak-minded, a glorious feast for the wretched masses to devour. Those of us who know the truth of matters know best to keep our smiles wide and our lips sealed. Better to die a martyr than live a traitor. Just ask Ezra and Janil MaLorian, or their children. Journal entry of Lord Minifert Minifus, Axon of House Minifus, Odosia. It is 200 years before the events of the Fortune's Tide campaign. In the city-state of Odosia, a spectacle takes place in the city square. A public execution. These are rare, and take place only for the most egregious of crimes within these walls. Treason. The square is crammed with people, as they all mill around a raised platform with warding sigils emblazoned upon poles to keep them at bay. A beautiful elven woman and a tiefling man stand side by side, their hands bound in iron manacles inscribed with glowing runes. Their necks are collared, preventing them from speaking, but these lovers need no words. They gaze into one another's eyes, never breaking contact to look at the crowd, even as their heads are forced down onto stone blocks. A figure steps forward. They are clad in gorgeous, billowing robes of scarlet and navy blue. They remove a scroll from their pouch, break a seal upon it, and begin to speak, their voice magically amplified to be heard. Let the records show. Ezra Banis MaLorian, former Axon of House MaLorian, and Janil Wynn MaLorian have been tried and found guilty for the following crimes: sedition, sabotage, and treason. For these crimes, they are hereby sentenced to death by beheading. Their bodies will not be buried among their ancestors, and their names will be stricken from their family's genealogical record. The convicted are granted final words. A figure from behind the couple steps forward and touches each collar, releasing some of the runes that bind them. Janil is the first to look to the crowd. She scans the faces until she lands upon the faces of her children, some adopted, some blood, but all family. She smiles faintly and simply says, "Keep one another safe. You are the keys to Odosia's future." Ezra looks to the crowd. His eyes fall upon his children, but move quickly past them. As tears well up in his eyes, he shouts, "Remember this day, friends! Remember the day Odosia fell to the hands of cowards and betray—" His voice is silenced as a shimmering silver blade cuts through his neck. The wound is instantly cauterized, As the magical weapon hangs in the air, the Armand's hand outstretched, their face pale and angry. They instantly compose themselves as they hear the crowds gasp. Ezra's head falls from his neck, landing with a sickening thud upon the stone platform. His eyes are locked on his children in death, and a blood-curdling scream echoes from the platform to his right. It is silenced quickly, followed by another thud. I would like everyone to roll a d20 and add your highest modifier to it. This is not a save. This is simply your regular abilities.
19.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
I got a 16.
16. Okay. Marc?
6.
6.
Oh, sorry, 7. 7.
7. Okay. All right.
That's a huge percentage in difference at that low a number, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. Yep. All right. Thank you. As the crowd begins to disperse, 5 hooded figures make their way to their family's home. There are no servants walking with them, and they have no escort. They are alone with one another. The rain begins to pour upon them as they walk, and we see each of them in turn. So we're imagining just like a panning view, who would be leading your troop.
Orla and Eldra, I think.
Okay.
No, I would probably be taking up the back.
Okay.
Yeah, Orla would be leading, trying to keep her head high.
And you notice as you walk that no one makes eye contact. You see shopkeepers that look away as you pass. You see patrons in the bars and taverns that you've grown up around look away as you walk by. It seems no one has any desire to associate with this family. So Orla, as you're walking through, give us a brief description of what the audience would see.
Orla is about 5'8". She has very vibrant ginger hair, tied off with gold pieces that keep it in section tiers down her back, manipulated very nicely as she keeps up a good presence. The cloak she's wearing is a forget-me-not blue, which has always been her favorite color, and her dress matches. And as a lady who has always known etiquette, she is walking with both her hands holding her skirt slightly from the mud that is billowing around them.
Okay. Who would be following behind Orla?
Festivus, probably. He's 27, so I think he's the second oldest.
Third. Alright, so what does Festivus look like?
Festivus is a male Goliath. He's about 7 foot tall. He has really, really broad shoulders. He's bald. Although across his skull he has the monastic tattoos all over his skin. His eyes are gray, and he has gray-blue skin, sort of like a cauliflower blue, but a little more gray.
Okay.
And he'd just be wearing a huge, down-to-the-ground trench coat and dirty breeches.
Okay. And who would be following after Festivus?
I'll say LJ is following behind Festus. Okay, well he's a half elf with golden skin and emerald green eyes. And he has this blonde hair that's tied up in a top knot at the top of his head, with some braided tightly braided locks that also go into the bun, and he has the sides shaved, I believe. Yeah. And he's wearing pretty revealing clothing. He doesn't really like clothes too much. He's probably not wearing shoes either. He's probably got his feet wrapped, but like he's not wearing shoes right now. And he looks angry and hurt, and every time somebody avoids eye contact with him, he just gets angry and he spits on the floor. He doesn't really say much though. So that is LJ.
All right.
All right. Am I good to go?
Yep.
All right. Well, Petra would probably be falling behind LJ. She is a smaller human, only about like 5'2". She has this platinum blonde hair that's put in like a similar style to her sister Orla's, and she's wearing a lot of violets and gold. And yeah, she's gonna be walking very, very solemn. Like, you know, she's tearing up a little bit. She's very emotional right now. And she's gonna be doing that walk where she falls behind and pace a little bit, but then just continues on her way.
Yeah. All right. And then the party is followed up with Eldra.
So, Eldra, even in such terrible conditions, his adamantine plate armor is still like, it looks like he took his sadness and his frustration out in polishing his plate. Like, it's gleaming. On both shoulders, when you're looking from either side, you can see a large plumed helm, signifying his oath to Helm, to protect and to be a guardian. And as he's walking, you can occasionally, he doesn't really make eye contact. You can see his eyes are kind of keeping track of the peripherals, but not really registering very hard. And you can see occasionally he has to re-grip his great axe, because you can kind of just see that he's lost a little bit of his strength, shall we say. He's an Azamar or whatever you want to call it. No one quite knows how he ended up in the family, but he was born of the same mother as his siblings. And he's very dim for someone with such an angelic heritage, shall we say. The light's quite faded.
Okay. All right. So as you all continue to walk... Yeah, making sure I wasn't muted. As you continue to walk towards your ancestral home, the home that you have always known, it takes you a little while to get there. And if there's any conversation that you would like to have amongst yourselves, you may do so.
I'm not entirely sure that we're all in the mood for talking.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Don't pay the looky-loos any mind, sisters. And you're all sisters, correct?
No.
I'm a brother.
No, LJ is not. That's right, sister.
Yeah, Festivus and LJ. Yeah.
Do not pay attention to those that are showing us scorn. Instead, just pay attention to where we are going, and we will get this figured out, and we will once again bring our house to a high reputation.
We are still the MaLorian family, and we must hold ourselves as such.
Yeah, LJ kind of scoffs under his breath because he's still pissed off about everything, and he thinks it's like completely unfair.
Yeah, Petra will like sniffle and just nod her head, and she won't say anything else though.
Okay. And you would all know that this type of occurrence is incredibly rare, but it does happen occasionally. There are records of this happening throughout history, that the heads of a family are executed or removed from station, and the remnants of the family, in occasions where this level of disgrace has befallen the family, you would then be absorbed into another noble house. Your family name essentially discarded. But you have heard no rumors, no inklings of any family that is looking to take you in, which is unusual, even in these situations. No one has stepped forward and attempted to lay a claim upon your the rest of your family. So as you continue to your home, the gate is open, and the palatial sight that greets you seems hollow and empty. The grounds, perfectly manicured, seem dull and lifeless. And you notice, for the first time any of you can ever remember, there's no one scurrying out to take your cloaks. There's no one holding the door for you. There's no one there offering you food and drink. Your servants are gone, confiscated by the Enoxian Council and redistributed to the other ruling houses. Common practice. Not always this swift. And as you step forward, on the front door you see a notice written that is a notice of the disbanding of House MaLorian, and it is signed by all 9 members of the Enoxian Council. The Enoxian Council is the ruling body that Odosia sports. It's very similar to like a Supreme Court in a way, in that the appointments are generally lifetime, but they must be voted in, and each member of the council comes from one of the 9 great noble houses. So if you know anything about Drow society, this is very similar to that in how they take votes and whatnot. So the head of the household is known as the Axon, A-X-O-N, and the council is the Enoxian Council, which is made up of 9 Axons. So, yay language. So this parchment is sealed to the door, and as you kind of push open the door and enter, you are greeted with a manor house that has only the barest of essentials left to it. The golden chandeliers, the silver inlaid furniture, the velvet curtains, the solid gold curtain rods, anything that would be of considerable value that you have grown up with has been confiscated. You are left with enough food and means in the way of clothing and bed sheets to spend 1 day in your house before you are traditionally presented to be claimed by another household. So, as you enter, the house is not completely empty. There is a lone figure kind of lounging in one of the few remaining chairs. And Orla, you recognize this lithe, kind of slightly gangly, but in an adorable way, drow. And he has on his traditional kind kind of pirate-esque garb, a leather sleeveless vest with a what's the name of the bandolier? So 2 bandoliers that kind of cross into an X over a almost bare chest, and he is lean and muscular and normally very easygoing and carefree. But today, as soon as you enter, he jumps up, and I ask Orla, how much of this relationship is the rest of your family aware of?
She would have kept it as secret as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was trying to become the House Axon, and she put, 20-something years into it. So.
Okay. So his name is Tej. Tej. And that's the only name he's ever given. It's the name he chose for himself. And the rest of you see this very handsome, kind of roguish-looking drow jump up from the chair and begin to quickly approach Orla with genuine concern and care on his face. What do you do? You've never seen him.
I'm gonna say LJ is gonna spot that, and he's gonna quickly step forward and point his gloved hand at the drow. Okay, and then the crystal in the palm is gonna glow slightly like he's gonna cast a spell. Who the fuck are you?
Easy, friend.
Friend? We don't know you.
He kind of looks past LJ to Orla and just kind of shrugs.
And Orla's she's like, it's okay. It's alright, everyone. I know him.
How long have you known him?
Longer than I'd like to admit.
Well, you're going to know me for a bit longer, it seems.
We can stop that.
Not if you want to get out of this city alive.
That's where Orla steps around her siblings.
Somebody's echoing.
Who doesn't have headphones in?
I think everyone has headphones in. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's not doing it now.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, yep. Whatever. Yeah.
So Orla, at this point, this is where she steps around her siblings and kind of puts up that gloved hand just to cease and desist kind of motion.
Okay.
And walks over to the drow and kind of she's never been one to open her arms to hug, but she's been one to walk into a hug. So
he knows that. So
yeah,
the arms are they're not like come here, man, but it's just a very composed sympathy hug.
So she walks into the hug, sniffles just for a moment, but not a single tear falls. And she turns from the hug and gestures to her lover, and is just this is Tej, and he and I have been seeing each other for a few years.
In what manner have you been seeing each other?
The manner that would have destroyed me. That kind.
You see Tej just kind of flinch a little bit at that, but he does not turn away. He doesn't look angry. And
so Orla, do you trust him?
Well, he used to climb up the banister for me almost every night, so I would hope so.
He says he's going to keep our family safe. Do you trust him?
I don't expect one singular individual to be able to keep us all safe, but
No.
I expect he could help us, and I trust it.
Okay. I extend my hand out to Tej.
He takes it and shakes it.
Welcome to the remnants of the House of MaLorian.
Indeed. I am not here on a lark. I am not here only to see Orla. I am here for you all. You are not safe within these walls. The families do not want you. They fear you. They fear what your parents uncovered. They fear what you may do to this city if the truth were to get out. I have a ship. And he turns to Orla and he's kind of he's still hesitant and reserved, but he has almost a childlike joy that he's trying not to show. And it's just I bought a ship. I did enough jobs. I saved enough money so that I could become a merchant and I could go legit for you. We could be together. And
well, it seems very likely now.
Now it may be my only chance to save you. The wilted lily is her name, and she's beautiful, like you. And
Festivus is gonna snicker from the door, sort of up the nose, just and let out a sort of grief and stress-induced guffaw. And he's gonna turn around. He'll have plucked the notice off of the door and was just casually reading it, And then he starts talking all cutesy pootsy and he just can't take it anymore. He's like, "You think I haven't known about you guys for a hot damn minute? I'm 7 foot tall. I saw you in the garden months ago. I'm not gonna tell him what I saw, but I saw it."
And Paige just looks up at him.
LJ starts losing his shit. He was fine. He was on defense, and then he has Festivus in the background, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Orla takes the moment of distraction to just reach up and put her hands on Tej's face and give him a kiss and thanks him for what he's done. But she adds, she's with the reservation she's always had. Kind of, I don't want to ask anything difficult or life-threatening of you. But if you're set on trying to help us, then I appreciate it, and I'm in your debt.
Well, you know that I've not always been the most reputable of individuals, but I still have some of my connections, and from what I know, none of the families are planning to take you. They want to frame you. You know as well as I that turning in traitors, whether they are legitimate or not, that earns you a great deal in this city.
Yes, it does. And no one would think to believe us if we said otherwise now.
No.
I don't think we should waste any time then.
I don't either.
There's nowhere. This isn't home anymore. Home was left in the market square. Let's go find a new home.
Okay,
right.
with that being said, I'm gonna say that LJ kind of has this sudden epiphany, I guess. He suddenly has this weird expression on his face, and he's just like, hold on, wait a second, I gotta go check something real quick. I'll be a minute. And he darts off to where his room would have been. So as he walks into his room, he specifically walks towards his wardrobe if they didn't take it, and he kind of moves it to the side, and he traces, a weird arcana symbol on the wall, and he pulls it open, okay, and then he pulls out this bag, okay, and he sticks that on his belt, shuts it, pushes the wardrobe back into place, and then he goes and rejoins his family.
You hear an incredibly faint whisper in the back of your mind. Thanks for not forgetting me.
He just like mumbles under his, no, don't worry about it. I wouldn't do that.
Don't worry, man.
I'm hungry.
Okay, I'll work on it. You'll be fed, I promise.
Who are you talking to, LJ?
Nothing. What are you talking about?
You know what stress does to the brain.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
do.
makes
That's
me
why
hungry.
I was just trying to make sure that I wasn't missing something important that LJ was trying to tell me. Because I too am stressed.
Yeah, I get it, bro. I get it. It's nothing.
Hey.
So, Tej, what do you suggest we do? Should we arrange to leave now?
Yes, I think that would probably be... He just stops and starts sniffing the air. I would like all of you to make perception checks, please.
Oh shit. Mouse, I need you.
15.
Okay.
8. My boyfriend's here, guys.
Yeah.
16.
You're distracted.
Yeah.
LJ got a 12.
Okay.
I got a 25.
Oh, Jesus.
The little
So,
sister,
Petra, yeah. Now, is it Petra, or is it pronounced Petra?
It's Petra.
Petra, okay. All right, so Petra is the first to notice, other than Tej. You smell smoke. Specifically wood smoke. Your house is made of wood. It has grown a little warmer.
She's gonna look at her siblings and Tej, and she's gonna. Do you guys smell that? It's getting a little hot in here.
Refrain.
Festivus is gonna come bolting out of the kitchen where he snuck off to make like 3 days worth of sandwiches with just like all the sandwiches in his arms. Guys, bloody hell, wait, fire! Guys, I think the house is on fire!
Are you
Send the sandwiches!
LJ goes to help with the sandwiches. Sandwiches are important.
I've got a bag of holding.
So,
Let's just stuff them in there. Quick!
Someone save the charcuterie!
yeah.
That was good
Let the
salami.
cheese melt.
Dad knew his salamis.
Is there any like smoke or like carbon
As
monoxide
soon
starting
as-
to build up?
Yeah, as soon as it's pointed out to you, you all start to smell burning, and you see from under the front door like a very light wafting of smoke starting to pour in, and it is pitch black smoke.
Okay. So this is our house.
Mhm.
We've grown up here.
Yep.
We know every nook and cranny. LJ
Yep.
even knows some that none of us know.
Mhm.
So, LJ, get us out of here.
On that
This is the
note,
safest route.
I would like everyone to roll initiative for our skill challenge!
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Escape your own burning house.
Over here,
14.
Orla's like panicking because she's sickly.
Okay, so I will ask each of you in turn, we'll do the Matt Mercer method. I keep bumping my microphone because I have to write, and that's obnoxious. All right.
Excuse me.
Yep. Take your time. It's all good. All right. So 25 to 20. All right. Good to know. 20 to 15.
Tej, what did you get?
Oh, good point. Oh, yeah, not super great.
Tej got a nat 20.
No, Tej did not get a nat 20.
That's That's what I rolled.
Oh,
It's
you
not for me.
Oh, well, if you rolled for Tej, you got a nat 20. Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, I like that. No, I like that. I should have had one of you roll for it. So yeah, Marc took the initiative. Marc took the literal initiative. I dig it. Yes. All right. So yeah, Tej is going to go first. All right. So no 15 to 20. 15 to 10. Okay. What did you guys get?
I got 13.
Okay.
I got a 14.
All right. So Eld, then Pet, and let's see. 10 to 5. 5 and 5?
I got a 6.
Oh, 6 and 8. Okay. Wait, who got the 8? Sorry.
I got the 8.
Okay, so Festivus.
With the Sandwich Brigade, we're a little distracted.
What did Orla get?
So I jinxed myself by
Oh boy.
saying that she's probably really faint, and that's how she knows. She was a nat 1.
Oh,
So
shit.
plus 4 though, so that puts me at 5, but still a nat 1.
Alrighty. Oh, shit. I meant to say at the top of the game, everyone has 1 point of DM inspiration. So you can re-roll any D20 roll and take the better result. So everyone starts with 1. But if you want to use it now, you can. But
nope.
I will tell you this is not the last time you'll be rolling a D20.
Yeah,
So.
I would never waste that on initiative personally.
No.
Yeah, because
No, not getting out of the house, because honestly, whatever's after the house is markedly worse. So if you
Whoever
can't make it
set
out of
the
the
house
house,
on
you're
fire.
not going to survive the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. Tej, what skill is Tej going to use? So let's recap the skill challenge really, really quick. So the way we run skill challenges in this on this stream is we run the almost heroic goddamn DM method. So basically the way it works is each person will tell me what skill they would like to use to perform a task to overcome the challenge. In this case, the challenge is get out of the house before you die of smoke inhalation or burning to death. So let's say that LJ chooses Arcana. So would roll a d20, add the Arcana score. If it meets the DC of whatever I have set, then it's a success. If not, it's a failure. And 3 failures means that you fail the skill challenge. You need 7 successes to succeed. So, on a failure, either something bad will happen or something good will not happen. On a success, something good will happen or something bad will not happen. So, it could just be a middling result. If you use Arcana, if LJ uses Arcana and then Orla goes, Orla cannot then use Arcana, and LJ cannot use Arcana on his next turn. It sounds confusing, but it's really quite simple once you start actually doing it. So we're going to jump in. Tej got a nat 20 on his initiative roll, thanks to Marc. So he is going to use Acrobatics. Big surprise. And he is going to, he is actually going to try, or no. No, he's going to take the chivalrous route. Yeah, he's gonna try to like not necessarily pick up Orla, but he is definitely going to try to help Orla, who is looking a bit faint, and try to help her to the door and get through the door. So he is actually going to use athletics.
One of the good endings is Orla and Tej get married and everyone.
Oh, that's okay. So actually, on athletics, the swashbuckler rogue actually succeeded. So that is a 1 success out of 7. No failures yet. So Tej comes up and Orla, you can tell me what amount of assistance does Orla allow Tej to give her?
So she would very much allow like the loop an arm around the waist and like take her other arm over the shoulder and help her out with her footing, because you know when you're foggy in the head, you're like not all there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So Eldra, you're next, And Petra, you're on deck. What skill would you like to use?
I'm going to use insight.
Okay. What would you like to insight?
The safest path through the next section of the house.
Okay. We'll say that you know the layout of the house, and so you're kind of trying to guess like how the fire would travel, how the smoke would travel. Yeah. I'll say you can use insight
15.
for that. 15. Will just barely pass. That is the number
That's
that
fine.
you
A pass
need.
is a pass.
Yep. So the DC is 15.
Y'all.
So that's 2 successes. And that was insight. So insight is off the table for Petra. So Eldra actually. So what does that look like when Eldra like realizes the quickest path? Like how do you communicate that to your siblings?
So right now, I would assume that Orla and Jet are at the front, kind of. Even actually, no. You know what? This is how it looks. LJ, can you take us through the secret route that goes hallway downstairs and out the back? Remember that one?
Does LJ remember that one?
Indeed, you do.
LJ,
So-
yeah.
You
yeah,
guys are writing the narrative for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Orla, Jet, let LJ pass. He knows this route, and I think it's our safest path.
My name's
If
Tej.
nothing else. Whatever, Tej. You're new.
It's
here,
John
no
Tesh.
My
stress.
name is Taz.
It's John Tesh.
God.
I'm sad to fuck with you.
You know,
John
he's just like carrying
Yeah.
your twin. It's
Yeah, it's fine. No, I was just messing with Marc there.
All right. So I sort of
Yep.
like clear LJ a path in the hallway to sort of start leading us through.
All right. Petra, insight is off the table.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with survival.
Okay.
Would she be able to, like, obviously there's gonna be a little bit of smoke depending on where you are in the house, but would she be able to, like, kind of assist and tell people how to, like, walk through so they're not choking on the smoke?
Yeah.
Alright. That's gonna be an 18.
That will succeed. Dang. You guys always crush my skill challenges. I really need to up the DC. I think I said that last time. All right. So, yeah, you know exactly how to navigate this rapidly smoke-filling room. Thankfully, you all have very high ceilings because you're an incredibly wealthy family, or were. But your house has incredibly high ceilings, so it's taking a while for the smoke to fill the room, but it is getting noticeably hotter.
All right.
Orange
so she's
Jesus.
gonna, like,
I love it.
she's going to tell, like, her siblings and Tej,
And Tesh.
and Tej.
And
I have to put that in. Everybody,
Tej.
make sure you stay kind of lower, just in case. I don't want us to die, please.
Roll.
yeah, exactly.
This is basically
Get low.
what she's.
All right.
Cool.
Alrighty. So, Festivus, you're next, and survival is off the table. What skill would you like to use to get out of this house?
Oh boy. Wait. Okay. So we're headed down a hallway.
Right now, you are all still within the common room. We'll say that you are headed down the hallway that LJ is leading you to. Yes. But you can do whatever you want. Like, you can go back to the front door and try to bust it open if you want. You can whatever you want.
Sandwich by the
I mean, the
bottom
front
so
door
they-
was never shut. Like, we all just kind of left it open because we were grief-stricken and then struck by our sister's secret.
It is indeed shut.
It just kind of went.
They rolled real high on that one.
Aye.
That was a DM roll.
Oh, gee.
He's gonna head over real quick now that those sandwiches are safe. Over to the door and use athletics to kick it open, just straight
Yeah, roll it.
blood. that's stupid. That's a 10.
Ooh, that will be our first failure.
Do I add my strength modifier? That +3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you add your athletics modifier, not strength.
Okay.
What did you roll on the die?
Say that. It was a miserable little 4.
Okay, you could use your inspiration if you want, but it's your first failure out of 3, and you already have 3 successes. So
True.
Use it now or save it. It's up to you.
Okay, so I guess
LJ, you're on deck.
I guess Festivus just forgot that the door opens from the outside in, and he's kicking from the inside out. So
yeah.
The bolt isn't working, so he just kicked it for another. He turns around and goes, "Okay, the door's definitely locked. To the secret exit." Yeah.
So I believe in failing forward. So you would notice with this kick that you're beefy, and even going the wrong way, the door should at least shake. It's like kicking a solid wall of stone. There is no movement.
I think they're trying to kill us.
So Festivus will fail, unfortunately, but learns that the door may or may not be magically sealed. LJ, what are you gonna do? Athletics is off the table.
That's fair. That's not my strong suit. Okay, so we are going to follow older brother's suggestion, and we are going to go to that exit, secret passageway exit.
Mm-hmm.
On the way over there, I'm gonna say that it's one of those secret passages.
Mm-hmm.
So LJ would have a little, again, tracing a rune on a brick or something.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm gonna roll Arcana for that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. To even though you're nervous and kind of shaking, to very quickly trace the sigils. Yeah.
That is a 16.
16 will succeed. All right. So we got 4 successes, 1 failure. So yeah, very quickly, LJ is able to uncharacteristically cool under pressure. Here is just very deft lines of arcane
Muscle
power.
Memory.
Yeah. And very quickly opens these doors in rapid succession, and there are multiple doors that go through these hidden passageways. All right. So Orla, you are up. Arcana is off the table.
So my girl, having spent a lot of her life in high society and learning to pick up on all them whispers and mumbles, I'm gonna do, even in her lightheaded state, I'm gonna do perception to see if she can catch on to, based off of any recent balls or anything, who she may suspect might be doing this.
All right, yeah.
So kind of get a name for the crime type of bullshit.
Yep. Roll it.
That is a 19.
19, that will succeed. Yeah, so you, as this is all going on, you kind of just take a moment and think back. And it actually wasn't a ball that comes to mind. It was just earlier today, as you and your siblings were kind of sneakily making your way to the square to observe this execution. You remember overhearing a conversation between two, let's say they were navy blue and with gold trim clad members of the Noble House of Palantis. Palantis. And one of the individuals was Eomund Palantis. Eomund, or Eomund, however you want to say it. Eomund. Eomund Palantis. And he is the least favored for the position of the new Axon for his household, and seemed quite upset by this. And and was kind of arguing with one of the other members of the house that he should be higher in the standings than he is. So based on that, you start to wonder maybe this capture or destruction of the rest of your family might place him in higher standing. So, perception off the table for Tej. Tej is going to roll. So Tej is actually going to roll acrobatics this time to kind of nimbly make his way through all of these twists and turns, and he is rolling pretty well. He got a 21 total, so that will definitely succeed, and is able to, even with Orla kind of held up with him, is able to very nimbly dodge and weave, and actually takes the lead just behind LJ of the party. So last but not least, or hopefully last, assuming a success, we have Eldra. Right, Eldra, so insight and acrobatics are off the table.
Yeah. So I'm going to use athletics. And what's become pretty clear is that the rest of us are moving at a pretty high pace.
Mm-hmm.
And Petra finding it a little bit tough to keep up, I think. I'm going to use athletics to not necessarily like scoop her up, but almost scoop her up. Like, this is do or die. Mm-hmm. And she's my little sister, and I don't want her to die. So I'm prepared to like six-pack on the hip her, basically. So
all right.
Essentially, I'm going to use my athletics to move her as gently and as quickly as possible so that we can all get out.
All right, roll it.
That is a solid 17.
That will be our final success.
Yes.
All right. So as Eldra scoops up Petra under one arm and just is booking it, Festivus manages to catch up with the rest of the group with those long Goliath legs and takes over. And instead of waiting for LJ to open these doors, is just shoulder checking each one of them, just using ki to just blast through each door in rapid succession. There are a lot of doors, but you finally ascend a very small staircase, and it comes to a stone archway, and Festivus, you would actually know about this particular archway. This is related to your I know a guy.
Right, okay. So look, if we can just take this road here, my monastery and my fella, Atticus Finch. So
Atticus Finch?
Shut up! It's a good name. Voice in the sky laughing at my
yeah. Oh my god, alright, yes. Atticus Finch. I'm gonna write that down now.
Atticus and all the other monks at my monastery, right? So we all built this gigantic tunnel underground to help ferry people who were in danger, getting them out of the city so they, wouldn't be dead like us. So I know that if we can at least get through this here tunnel, yeah, it'll take us up to the monastery. And,
but this is the doorway that leads into the lower chambers of the monastery. You shoulder checked through those other doors.
Yeah.
They're going to need to replace those.
Disclaimer, I have a very hard time keeping up with what we've done.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's okay.
High movement situation.
Yeah.
It's okay. Adrenaline.
Yeah.
I have a map.
It's don't you map shame me.
I'm not. My theater of mind is glitchy.
So
essentially, my monastery people can help get us out because we've got a secret tunnel out the city.
All right.
Go then.
Okay.
So the door to the monastery, like I said, it's kind of in the stone archway, and you know from experience that this is barred from the other side. It is not able to be just pushed through with brute force unless you're a giant, which you are not. But you know to knock a certain pattern, and so you do. And it isn't long before you hear a bolt kind of being eased out of a casing, and a couple of other locking mechanisms you can hear unclick. I would like each person to roll me a d20 and add your second highest modifier to it.
$17.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 17.
What was that, Mark? Mark, what did you get?
20.
20. Nice.
I got an 18.
Okay.
Nat 20 plus another 3.
Nice.
Critical success.
So 23. All right. Very cool.
Well, just not messing
These are
around anymore.
Yeah, these are really good rolls. You guys are crushing this particular thing.
That.
Yeah, you have inspiration. You can use your inspiration for these rolls as well. I won't tell you what they're for, but you can use them. All right. So the door is opened, and you see a familiar sight, Festivus. You see the inner, or the lowermost chamber of the monastery, and you are way of the open hand, correct? Your monk tradition.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So we'll say that in this, the way of the open hand is actually just a palm, and in the palm is kind of an infinity symbol set into it, and so you see that imagery just emblazoned everywhere within this room, and you see Atticus. I hate that name. You see Atticus Finch kind of standing before you, and he's this very, very old, very, very bald, and kind of wrinkled but still buff human man, and he is just looking at you and just kind of raises his eyebrow, kind of like the Rock, like, can't do it. But yeah, that's like very questioning. What are you doing here?
Atticus, look, well, I probably don't need to tell you about how our parents, today. There's no way you don't know about that. Everybody knows about that.
Oh, I know about it. Oh, we lost Mark.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So.
Okay. Hold on. I didn't see any messages. What happened to Mark?
Oh, he's leaving and signing back in. The sound got jacked up on
him. Okay. All right. Oh, there he's coming. All right. Neato. All right. So we'll give Mark a second to.
Back.
We can't see you. Oh, now. Oh, maybe.
You'll be able to see.
Woo!
Don't worry, I'm coming.
Yay! All right, cool. And now we lost Hannah. Everybody's running away. Why is everyone running away?
Because you threatened to kill us. How'd you expect?
So Atticus, just looks at you and he's, I know everything.
Right. So then you're probably not gonna be too surprised when I tell you that there's at least one arsehole out there trying to either kill us or capture us for money. I'd kind of like us to live.
All right, Hannah will be right back. So
would you mind if we use the tunnel out of here?
I would like you to make a persuasion check, please. I'll say with advantage because of your past relationship.
Oh, thank God, because that other one was just shameful.
What'd you get?
Okay, so that one was a 10.
Okay.
Again?
Yeah. He looks a little hesitant.
Remember that time I stayed up for a week solid helping you decipher those ancient scrolls?
He just holds up a hand.
How super useful they ended up being for you and your work. Wink, 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 wink. Like, it just looks like a Tourette's twitch when he does it.
That's okay. So he holds up a hand to stop you, and you see the familiar infinity symbol tattooed in the palm, and he says, "It's fine. Yes, I'll take you. I'll take you to the catacombs, but you have to get out. You have to get as far away from this place as you can."
Oh, don't worry, we have no intentions of hanging out in the tunnels, just waiting to get bookended.
Good. That would be real dumb. So let's see here. Yeah. All right. So he begins leading you, once again, Festivus. This is familiar territory for you. Takes you through a couple of rooms to another kind of smaller back chamber, down another set of steps that's kind of hidden underneath the floor of the monastery. And so you, having helped construct these tunnels, you would recognize them as the ones that you have used in the past. And he tells you, the way to the docks. Well, do you tell him where you're heading, I guess? You just said out of the city.
Yeah. Once he gets the help, Festivus would kind of lean in with a little more details and let him know where they're.
All right. So I don't think you've ever used these to get to the docks before. And he starts giving you directions to get to the docks, and you're familiar with a lot of it. And then the last couple of turns are new, but it's easy enough to remember. And you all set out on your way. Could you give me a marching order, please?
Who wants to go first?
Who would be going first in this?
Eldra at this point in time, because now we don't know what's coming, but we're going to assume that our back is at least relatively safe.
Okay. So Festivus would have to be near Eldra, just kind of helping lead. So maybe Festivus is right behind Eldra?
Yeah, he's going to be playing sort of monkey in the middle because he's tallest.
Monk.
So, yeah. So he can, have a good vantage point, from behind and above if something sneaks up.
Okay.
I think
we can't be surprised.
Orla would stay near the back with Tej, but kind of keep Petra close to them, because that's little sis.
Yeah.
All right, where would LJ be?
Can I pitch that LJ tries to walk behind Petra and Orla and Tej?
Mm-hmm.
He purposely tries to sink behind the party.
Okay.
Unless somebody talks to it.
Orla, I would say she probably notices, kind of looks over her shoulder with that older sister look, but then just turns and keeps going.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, he's back there because he's gonna start feeding stuff into his special bag.
All right. What are you feeding?
So 2 sandwiches that I kept from Festivus, and I think my bag comes with a little knife. I'm gonna throw that knife in there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you all traverse these cramped tunnels for a while. Orlo, And Petra, what are your passive perceptions?
Fine.
My passive perception is a 16.
Okay.
It's a 17.
Okay. All right. Never mind.
I don't like
No,
that.
it was just to see if you could hear the slurping sounds coming from inside LJ's bag. You do not.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's too scary.
LJ, as you feed, what was his name? Jigagoo.
Yeah, Jigagoo.
Yes, Hannah. We had to keep some of our normal selves in this. So you hear like a kind of slurping and kind of a wet sucking sound whenever you feed your patron through this magical bag. And after you finish feeding Goo, you just hear satisfied for now.
Good. Oh, yep, no problem. He's literally talking. It sounds like he's talking to himself.
Yeah.
But it's like low volume.
All right. And I would assume that your family is pretty used to this. If they haven't figured out what's going on by now, they're just used to LJ just kind of mumbling to himself occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like for everyone to roll me a d20 and add your third highest modifier to it, please.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I'm scared.
Now, are we going third highest numerically
Yes.
in terms of modifiers?
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of similar ones. Whoa, not
That's
20.
okay.
I'll take the
Oh,
21.
nice.
15.
Critical so we got 21. 15.
And a 14.
Okay.
LJ got a 5.
Ooh, bringing down the average. Festivus.
Did I say 23 or 24 that last time you
23.
Shit. Okay.
Should it have been a 24?
There should have been a 24, and
Okay.
this one would be a nat 20 with a 3, so this one would have been 23.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, right when I don't need them, I'm getting.
No, I will say you need the high numbers for this. I will say that.
You're giving
Okay, then I
things
feel
away.
less bad.
No,
I'm
no,
scared.
I'm really not. I
I'm
promise.
scared, man.
That's the best part. I'm really not. Like, when do you need low numbers in D&D?
I
I'm in
have
trouble.
done that once. Required
Yeah.
low numbers on rolls. All right. So you continue along these catacombs, and eventually, following Festivus and Eldra, using the directions that Festivus was given, you come to a sharp incline on the tunnel, and you can see like a sewer grate above you, and it's not an actual sewer grate, it's just built to look like one. So Festivus would know that this is a pretty common entry and exit point to these tunnels. They're designed to look like regular maintenance tunnels, when in fact they are actually secret passages, which is pretty cool. So you are able to kind of push away this grate, and do all of you begin climbing out? Do you scout the area? What do you do?
I would pop my head out and probably take a quick perusal of the area, see if I see anyone,
Okay.
and sort of like kind of Festivus picks up the signal when I sort of put my hand back and be like, stay with them. I'll look.
Okay. So you're just like kind of taking a quick glance around.
No, I would rather keep my family safe and go down fighting 5-on-1. So I'm actually gonna like pop fully out.
Okay.
And do like a quick like 5-10 foot kind of radius perimeter
Gotcha.
around.
All right, I would like you to make a perception check. As you kind of climb out of this hole in the ground, you see that you are not far from the docks, actually.
Okay.
This
15 was
is...
my roll.
Okay. This is designed to bring you close to the docks, but not be exactly on them, to try to shake off a tail if you acquire one. Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I like that one. So, as you pop out, you kind of take a moment to look around and do your quick perimeter sweep, and you don't see anyone at first, but then kind of out in the shadows of an alleyway to one of the buildings, you see a very short individual standing there, and he is definitely looking at you. And you hear kind of a "You, boy, come here."
Breaking up so bad. Okay.
Oh.
So he called me over, correct?
Yes.
And he called me boy.
Yes.
I'm going to go over because I would rather submit to being called boy at this point in time than put my family at risk. So
Okay.
I will go over, but my great axe will be visible and not held in a hostile manner.
Okay. So as you approach, he actually kind of leans out of the shadows a bit, and you see a dwarven man, very familiar to you, actually. He has been a long-time friend of House MaLorian. This is Lord Belwyn. Lord Belwyn Lanier, Laynier. So the Lanier family and the MaLorians have been buddy-buddy for a very long time. And you would know that he was one of the dissenting votes in favor of your parents, not against them.
Yeah. Belwyn, what are you doing here? You're putting yourself at risk.
Aye, that I am. But your father once helped me out of a scrape, so I figure it's time I return the favour. You all are looking for a ship, right?
We have one.
Oh, fantastic.
Mind a decoy ship.
Aye, that I think I can provide that.
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
So, not to interrupt, but down below, could Orla have used her magic item, which is a wondrous figure, and summon her silver raven that all of her siblings would know, and sent it up top to stay with Eldra?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like your raven to make a perception check, please.
Okay, Burby.
Are you able to communicate with the raven?
I would assume so, because we are twins and we do have a connection that goes beyond the normal human to human connection.
You know,
It's possible.
DM,
Yep.
I can, it says while in raven form, the figurine allows you to cast the animal messenger spell on it.
Okay.
So if you want to
cool.
say that I could communicate with the bird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will rule that you and Eldra both, again, being twins, have a particular connection that allows both of you to be understood by and understand the raven in a limited capacity, not like full-on conversation, but a limited capacity. So what was that perception check? At advantage,
Burb?
I believe, for a raven.
Burb, well, I'll roll advantage, see if I did. I did do better! Burb rolled a 22.
A 22.
Nice.
Okay.
The bird has a name. His name is Sylvanus, by the way.
Sylvanus, okay.
Yes.
You'll probably have to remind me of that at some point.
He's a silver raven.
Yeah, so Sylvanus is circling up ahead, and Eldra and Orla well, all of you would hear it, but only the two of you would understand the sound. You hear, ah! 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 And the two of you would interpret that as many. Danger, many.
And through kind of like their telephone connection, telephone wires with the Raven, Eldra would hear Orla's voice in his head like, "We need to get out of here."
So with this, because we can communicate briefly, stay put. I'm talking to Belwyn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm now with all this going on, I'm going to do an insight check into Belwyn, because I know him fairly well. I've known him pretty much my entire life, so I want to see. I would know his tells.
Yep, I would say make that check with advantage.
Thank you.
Because you know him.
There's a distinct difference between 4 and 14, but it's 19.
19.
For insight.
Belwyn is hiding something.
Okay.
He is very, almost imperceptibly kind of tapping his right foot, which, having played cards with him many times, you know is a signature tell of his.
Okay. So I'm going to try and quickly come up with a lie, which is very difficult for me as a paladin.
Yep.
So I'm going to roll. I'm going to choose to roll with disadvantage, and then we'll see how quickly I can make up a lie.
I like it.
And whether or not he buys it.
While this lie is formulating, Eldra can just hear Orla saying his name in his head.
That's why he's had disadvantage with the lie.
Yeah. Okay, so it was an 8. For my deception. Belwyn.
Aye.
The rest of the family is still back at the house. I left to try and clear us a path. We're going on. I'm going to name one of the other 9 family ships that are guaranteed at the dock.
Yeah.
They said they would help us. If you could send your ship out as a decoy and have some of your men who are similar size to my family and my siblings and me, we'd really like that. Maybe whoever's following us can follow them, and then we'll sneak on the other ship in the morning and set sail in the morning.
Aye, boy. Aye. That we can do. You keep your family safe, eh? And he kind of puts his hand out in to be shook.
I shake his hand because I know that any good ruse always ends in a good handshake, because that's a sign of trust and respect. So I shake his hand as if I normally would.
Okay. So 2 things happen simultaneously. You can't be surprised, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
no
so
one
this
around me can be surprised.
is not made with advantage. You feel a blade scrape off your adamantine armor as Belwyn pulls you in close, and at the exact same time you hear a boom from behind you within the confines of the hole that the rest of your family is waiting inside of. I need all of you to make me dexterity saving throws at disadvantage because of the proximity that you are in.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta make one for Tej too.
Oh my god!
But Tej is a rogue, so he is fine.
I actually rolled okay.
Okay. So, now, thankfully for all of you, the person who cast this is not at a terribly high level.
Okay.
But fireball erupts around all of you. All right. So Who here got below a 13? Don't raise your hand because I can't see you. You gotta let me know.
Oh,
LJ rolled a 3.
Oh,
I got a nat 1.
Oh, no.
Critical fail.
All right. So Petra.
We had 5 siblings.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't think you would all die so soon. All right. So. Oh god, it's 8d6. Jesus Christ! I always forget how much it is. I always forget how much Fireball does.
Guys! One of the 2 items I took was a health potion.
Oh, thank goodness!
I took a health potion.
All right. So that
was very smart.
I was like, what would Orla actually have? She was a houseplant druid, so she probably made it herself.
And don't forget, I am a paladin.
So,
lay on hands.
So, anybody who rolled below a 13, you take 26 points of fire damage. They actually rolled like reasonably well. Well, it's like average, I think. And anybody who succeeded takes half.
What's
so
that half? 20?
13. So you take 13 points of fire damage as this just little mote of flame kind of just down like right into the little hole entrance, and just this wall of flame just engulfs all of you. Tej somehow manages to avoid all of the damage, being a rogue, thankfully, because he's a little squishy.
He doesn't save. Orla actually rolled at disadvantage. She rolled a 19 and a 16.
Yeah.
So that gave her a dirty 20.
Nice.
He actually rolled
yeah.
really well. Maybe he did help.
I forgot to change the overlay so everybody else can see your guys' HP. Hold on, I gotta do that real quick. I'll do that when we come back from break.
As the smoke is clearing, how's everyone looking?
Bad.
You know, I'm gonna roleplay this. Hold on. So as the smoke is clearing, like Orla she's like on the ground, and she like pulls herself from the ground, and she just starts yelling her siblings' names, like as loud as she can with her very weak voice. So you just hear, Petra! LJ! Anyone okay?
What about Festivus?
Yeah, so I was thinking Festivus doesn't even get named anymore.
Festivus is the buff one.
No, she looks over and sees he's okay.
Yeah, he's just like standing up, like hacking, just.
Yeah, Tej is also standing, coughing.
And then he immediately rips open his bag of holding and makes sure the sandwiches are.
They're a little toasted. No, it's fine. A lot of fire going on today.
I mean, the cheese got melted, so that's nice.
Grilled cheese!
It's
That
grog.
sounds good!
Festivus is grog. It's amazing.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, so LJ, not good. The thing took him completely off guard. So there was no blocking, there was no like shrinking away. He just took the full force of this blast, and now he's not out cold, okay? But he is like on the floor, and he's not moving for a minute. You kind of hear like a really weak groan from him. He's just singed. His clothes are black now. They were white before. They're black now. So that's LJ's situation. He hasn't responded.
All right.
I'm gonna say that Petra, she also took the full force of this. Yeah. And it's gonna have pushed her up against the wall, one of those kind of things. And she just kind of like slid down, and she's on the ground. Her eyes are closed. She's not out cold, but her eyes are closed, and she's just not saying anything right now. It's bad.
Okay. And oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Orla, before we cut to break, she's like noble sister of the family. Even though she's taken damage, she collects herself off the ground and starts moving to like try to sit her siblings up. And, like, like pat on their chest to like try to clear out any of the smoke and the dust built up in their sinuses, and is just trying her best once again. Don't cry.
Mhm.
Don't cry.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, I think we're going to go ahead and go to break, and we will come back with everybody rolling initiative.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
So,
Don't ever
I'm in
split the
danger.
party. Don't ever split the party.
Yep.
I'm in danger.
Oh, hey, Smarta
Split
Master.
me.
That was so much.
Jess, were you crying?
What?
Were you crying?
I was gonna...
You were gonna cry.
I was gonna cry. Petra's my sweet daughter.
Possibly, Smarta Master. Very possibly. All right, so we will come back with you all, gathered in arms against House Lanier. Lord Belwyn has turned on you.
What
We'll
an
find
ass.
out why soon.
What an ass.
Or, well, we know why. We'll find out what the result is. I re-gifted that anyway. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun.
It's gonna be a really
I'm having so much fun with this.
Oh my gosh, I also noticed a super funny thing.
What's that?
Alternate universe, Orla and Tej are Pacifica's parents.
Oh
Her-
yeah.
Her dad was a drow and her mom was a half-elf. That's
I mean,
exactly
parallels
what
exist.
it
Yeah,
was.
parallels exist. All right, so we will be back shortly, about 15 minutes, while Megan and I go eat, and everybody else does what they do on breaks. Mark's already left,
Cry.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
go
gone.
cry,
He's
go cry, go eat, sob a little bit. Yeah, we still got quite a bit of story to get through, so we are going to keep on keeping on when we come back. Get those tissue boxes handy. So,
Oh my
thank you
God.
all so much, and we will see you soon. And we are back. All right.
Initiative.
Rolling initiative, yes.
Gosh. Oh shit.
I'm so scared. Woo, stress is high.
I'm gonna make a sticker with Petra and it's just gonna say, haha, I'm in danger. I'm so mad.
Oh, that is a solid initiative.
Oh boy.
I gotta...
Makes me
No
excited.
Are you gonna do Matt Mercer style again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I shall. So, for some reason, D&D Beyond is locking me out of some of the content that I've always had.
I like that.
So I do not like that.
It is not
it's bad.
sponsoring us.
So let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Nope. Sure can't. Okay, that's great. Awesome. Fuck. Alright, so...
Have I ever said how much I don't like D&D Beyond? Because if I haven't, let me...
No, I love D&D Beyond. I just... this particular thing is not working for me. Anyway,
it's been
doesn't matter.
glitching so much lately.
Oh, has it?
Oh,
okay.
Ooh.
No, I have not been keeping up on it, so like the technical stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have everyone tell me their initiative while I look up this bullshit. All right, cool. I found it. All right, 25 to 20.
I'm over 25.
Oh, nice. So
27 for me.
Nicely done. Okay. And let's see here. Belwyn. He rolled pretty dang high as well.
What did Tej roll?
I have not rolled for Tej yet.
You need to. Swashbucklers do a lot of damage.
I'm gonna. Yeah, okay. He rolled okay. Let's see. So then we're gonna say, and then I've got to roll for the cronies.
You.
Yep. All right.
Kill
They
them.
didn't roll super great either. All right. So 20 to 15.
19.
And that was Hannah that said that.
That's my sister.
Okay. Orla. 19.
Surrogate mom is
yeah.
anger.
All right. 15 to 10.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Yep, looking at a solid 12.
Okay, so Festivus. Okay. And then 10 to 5. Holy shit! What'd you guys get?
It's
I
okay.
rolled a nat one again.
Oh, man.
They gotta get through Mama Bear to get through.
Yeah, LJ got a 3 again.
Okay.
Makes
They're
sense,
just
though. We got
hiding my
fucked
bag
up,
of
so-
holding.
Alright. Smarter Master, yes, all of the characters are siblings.
Yes.
Petra got a... Well, even with the nat 1, what is your initiative modifier?
Oh, it would be a 3.
A 3 total? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say
That's 3
LJ...
times better than it started.
Yeah. LJ's gonna go first, and then Petra. Alright, so up first is Eldra. So Belwyn has obviously just tried to stab you, and you saw a fireball explode where your family is. What do you do?
Assumption and rage and everything else would kick in. I'm going for him, and I'm going to also use divine smite as I go at him with my great axe.
Okay. Have at you.
15.
A 15 will just barely hit.
Excellent.
It
All
still
so
hit.
that's the first attack.
Yeah, still hits.
Which is 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go again. That is a 13, so that will not hit.
Nope. That one scrapes
And
off, and
now-
he kind of dances back.
I'm going to communicate really quickly with Orla. I'm going to try to. Everyone alive.
And you just get a broken... Barely?
Okay. I'm going to... Oh, hang on. Just wait. No, I hit him with Divine Smite. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Sorry, he gets way more damage.
Oh.
There's a couple more D8s on top of that.
Let's
so
have
there's
it.
another 14 points of radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. So... Dang, that rocks his world. So you said another 14? Yeah, he does not like that one bit. Bad mouthfeel. So as the... what weapon do you use? Is it an axe?
It's a great axe.
Great axe. Kind of cuts into him. He swears and kind of just dances back, still keeping within melee range, but he lets go of your arm. Or any, like, grasp he had on you. And just kind of squares up and looks like he's ready to throw down. Is that all you have?
That is...
Okay.
Sorry, because I've never played a paladin before.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to use Divine Smite on both attacks? Because the second one didn't hit.
Right.
The second one missed, so...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Carry on.
So if you have any paladin questions, Hannah is your gal. All right, so Belwyn, it is his turn now, and he grips his battle axe as he kind of pulls it out of its sheath or a loop on his side, and he squares up and he just says, "Listen, boy, I'll just need to bring you in. I don't want to kill you."
It's the only way you're bringing me in. Dead.
Well, we'll see. And he rushes forward. And let's see here. That's a +4 to hit. 14 does not hit you. Nope. So he has a multi-attack, though. So he is going to try to shield bash you with the small shield on his arm. That's a 7 on the die. That is not going to hit either. So you are able to just kind of dodge and parry these blows as they come. I said I wasn't going to narrate combat, and I'm still doing it. Yeah, so he doesn't have anything else that he can do on his turn. So now it is Orla's turn. Excuse me.
Okay. So what do we see? Like, as the smoke is cleared, like, what enemies are we aware of?
Make a perception check, please.
Is this gonna be a free action?
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
You know me.
I was just making sure.
I'll explode fireballs on your head, but...
That's a 15?
15. Yeah, you see through the smoke, you can clearly see the caster that flung this fireball at you. Their hand, because they're robed, you cannot tell who it is, but their hand is still outstretched with the pointer finger extended.
How far?
Probably about 30 feet or so.
Alright, Orla, she's gonna, like, collect herself from... stand up from squatting beside Petra, and she's gonna step about 15 feet forward.
Alright.
And very first thing she's gonna do, try to make some headway, is she is going to... Actually, we're gonna step 20 feet. 20 feet, because that's specific.
Yep.
And just with, like, this burning ferocity in her eyes, she's just gonna, like, throw her hand up and hurl just the cube of Thunderwave out at them.
Nice. So they're actually, as you get a little bit closer, you see there's the caster, and then there are two other, like, kind of thuggish-looking individuals standing relatively close. So, yeah, they ignored the rule of don't clump up as well.
Well, I'm casting that shit.
Do it.
They all have to make a Constitution saving.
They're probably going to fail this. And they do. What is the DC? I guess I should say.
14.
Yeah, they fail. They rolled an 8.
I'm gonna roll that sweet 2d8 damage.
Rolling,
And I do have a bonus action.
Okay.
Alright. That's 15 points of, what is that, thunder damage or whatever? Yeah.
Oh, to each of them.
If it hit all of them, yeah.
Well, it hit 3. And they are not looking happy.
And then, because I am Circle of the Moon, I can wild shape as a bonus action.
Nice.
So Orla, you just see like a green light surge and like Studio Ghibli like hair puff. And you just see her morph into this massive dire wolf.
Yeah.
As she stands like filling the tunnel, protecting her family.
Nice.
And that is her turn.
Okay. Well, so did you you moved out of the tunnel to do the thunder wave? Did you move back into it?
Without a map.
Yeah, I know. Don't map shame me.
I moved forward.
Yes.
And then wherever that space is, like, I wild shaped and I'm blocking the tunnel behind me.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like standing in front of it, fur bristled.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, cool. It is now the thugs' turns. Except for the the wizard fella gets to go again. What's he going to do? So you see 3 thugs kind of begin rushing forward towards you. There was one extra one that was kind of hidden off to the side that did not take the thunder wave damage, but they are going to try to hit you, and they have pack tactics, so they have advantage as they come up.
Me too.
As they come up to you. Yeah. So they're going to try to hit you with a sword. That 5 and a 4 on the die, really. So that's going to be a 13 and a 12.
Nope.
All right. So the first one just completely misses. Oh, 15 on the die. And nat 20. Natural 20. Okay, so the 15 will do that one first. So I assume that a 15 on the die plus 8 is going to hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's going to do 5 points of... it says, why does it say bludgeoning? These people are dumb. Slashing damage. And then the nat 20 will do 10. So it's 15 total points. And then our lovely... We're just going to use Apprentice Wizard since I can't pull up my actual stuff that I had before. I don't know why. Thank you, D&D Beyond, for glitching. So we are going to say that... yeah, he doesn't really... Yeah, he's going to use Firebolt. Sure, why not? That's not going to hit. That's a 4 on the die. So this little streak of fire comes past you. And that's all they can do. That little fella just turns around and starts running. He got hit with that Thunderwave, did not like it. And now, it is Festivus' turn. So, you hear, and you could also see Orla go out of the tunnel, and then you hear a thunderous boom, and people yell, and then you hear the sounds of swords kind of slicing at fur and growling. So, what do you do?
Festivus is gonna pull out his short sword and keep going with everybody else out. And he's gonna go straight for Bell.
Okay. Yep, you can get to him easily. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna make a swipe at him with the short sword and see if I can't just flat out lob him in half.
All right. Have it.
That's an 18?
That will hit. Roll your damage.
Nine.
9 points of damage. Yeah. So Belwyn is looking hurt. Not looking great. Still standing. Still looks like he's got some fight in him. But he's not looking happy.
And could I use my flurry of blows bonus?
Does flurry of blows have to come after an unarmed strike? Or can it be just a melee weapon?
It just said after an attack.
Okay, then yeah. So you spend a key point. Make sure you mark that down. To do flurry of blows. Roll them.
That's a 9.
9 will not hit. And one more.
Damn it.
You get one more. I'm pretty sure. Flurry of blows, you get 2, right? For a monk.
I think so.
It should say under
Take
flurry
it.
of blows. Yeah, just do it.
I'm looking.
Just do it. It's fine.
When the DM gives you an extra attack, you just say yes, thank you, and you roll.
Oh yeah, 2 unarmed
LJ,
strikes.
you're on
Sorry,
deck.
2. Yeah, it was 2.
Okay. LJ's on deck.
Second one was 14.
14 will also not hit, unfortunately.
Bitch.
Yep. All right. Do you have anything as a bonus action?
That was my bonus action.
Oh, yeah. I'm smart. Or no. I thought bonus action was extra attack, and then you could spend a key point to do flurry of blows. Yeah. So you have a bonus action still.
Oh, it's listed under my bonus actions.
Oh, that's weird. All right. Whatever. That's fine. All right. LJ, you're up.
Okay, so LJ, he needed a minute to collect himself. Of course, with Orlaith's help, he did sit up against the wall, took a minute, cursed his life under his breath. He's like, fuck this, fuck that. And then he snapped out of it. But he gives a pat on I'm forgetting characters' names already. What's
Petra?
little sister's name?
Oh, Petra.
Petra. Gives Petra a firm pat on the shoulder. Take it easy. And then he gets up himself, and he goes to look for the nearest enemy to him. He's still kind of in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what would be the nearest enemy?
Yep. If you pop your head out, then you can see 3 kind of thuggish-looking dudes trying to carve up Orla in her wolf form. And Festivus, you get one more attack, so go ahead and roll it. Thank you, Smartmaster.
Okay. So LJ is going to point at one of the ruffians coming after his sister, and he is going to cast infestation on them.
Nice. All right. What do I need to roll something or?
Okay, so you will need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, they're not great at these. What's the DC?
15.
Nope, that'll be a 13.
Okay, so let's roll. That is 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I do anything else? I don't know. I think he's just gonna ready his light crossbow, and then it'll end his turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I will say, Eldra, You see Belwyn in front of you, kind of holding this battle axe with both hands, and is getting ready to swing down for another attack, and then you just see him kind of stiffen, and just kind of, and then fall forward with a dagger receding from the small of his back, and another in the base of his where the neck meets the spine, and you see a lithe, leather-clad, sleeveless vest wearing drow standing there. You see Tej standing there. He made it past everyone with an incredibly high stealth roll, because rogues. And he takes out Belwyn, and just kind of looks at you and nods, and moves off to start handling some more of them.
All right. So there's
there are still 4 individuals. One of them is running away. 3 of them are harrying Orla, but it is now Petra's turn.
All right. Petra is, after that little, pat, she's gonna she's gonna get on the ground. It's like, that where you have to put her head down, and then she's gonna get up very, very slowly, and she's gonna walk over to the cave opening. And does she see the caster? Where is the caster?
Yes, you do. He is currently running away. He's probably about 50 feet away from you. But real quick, Festivus, you had 1 extra attack that you didn't get a chance to roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I called it out a minute ago, but I don't think you heard me. So we'll direct it actually at one of the other thugs, because Belwyn is dead, thanks to Tej. So go ahead and roll 1 more attack real quick. We like to be fair.
Yeah.
That's a 15?
A 15. On these guys, 15, I believe will hit. I didn't write down their AC. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? You guys are going to mop them up anyway, so. I just want to see how Petra does it.
Alright, so Petra's not going to go after the caster. So that's 50 feet. But the thugs that are attacking her sister.
Yes.
She is going to kind of she's leaning on the side of the cave, and she's just gonna point and cast a witch bolt at 2nd level, so that's a melee.
Alright.
Okay, no, gotta. It is a 19 hit.
Yep.
Alright, so, okay, gotta roll the damage, guys. Alright. 22.
Jeez. Is that just on 1 person?
Yeah.
You fry one of these dudes completely. Just absolutely crispy. Special. Festivus, you hit one of the other ones. Did you roll your damage, please?
Yeah, that was a 5.
5. It's got 1 health left. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so for brevity's sake, we will say between all of you, Orla, how do you dispatch one of these fools?
I was gonna say my movement speed as a wolf is 50.
Oh, shit.
I want to devour the wizard.
Yeah, you do it.
I mean, straight up, pounce on him.
Yeah.
And hold him down with my paws and bite into his torso and rip it off.
I would say roll a strength check as a wolf.
As a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I assume you have those stats up.
Oh, I do.
I know you do.
Okay, that is 30-20.
Yeah, his rib cage is no longer within his body. It's brutal.
And then I bonus action.
All right, like a lady does.
I start cleaning the blood off.
Just this little hanky.
Yeah.
And between Festivus and Eldra, you get the last guy. So the two of you manage to just decimate this fella. And you would all know that these were all members of House Lanier. And now Lord Belwyn is no more, thanks to Tej. And Tej quickly comes over to Orla and begins...
She does not look good.
He begins helping, clean you up.
No, wound-wise. She's got like gashes in her arms now. From
he's trying to help.
Yeah.
But he's not a cleric or medically inclined in any way.
Okay, LJ, come here.
All right, and he's groaning as he's talking, but he walks over to his brother.
Okay, high five. That was amazing.
All
As we
right.
high five, you get 25 hit points back.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
Petra, come here. Petra, come here. Come here, my little one.
As she walks over, and she looks like a kicked puppy right now.
You're gonna get 15. We're gonna have a hug. I'm gonna hold you under my arm because I'm not letting go of my weapon. And you get 15 hit points back.
15. All right.
All right, and I also want to say, LJ, he puts out a fist to Petra. He's like, "Yes, we didn't die. We got close.
And she does like one of these where she holds the fist. She's like, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Petra, how are you feeling?
Tired.
Are you still sore?
Yeah, I want to go to bed now.
Okay. Take another 17 hit points.
Oh, God. I don't need 17.
Well, that's what you got. Unfortunately, with your wounds, you don't exactly get to pass them around.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right. I would like everyone to roll me a d20 and
Oh,
add your
Jesus.
4th highest modifier, please.
I don't have a 4th highest, so what do you want me to add? Do you want me to cycle back to the top?
What do you mean? Like, are your last
I have-
are your last 3 the same? Or last
Yeah,
4?
that's my case.
I have 2 plus 3s, 3 plus 2s, and 1 plus 1.
Okay, I'm
So
confused.
yeah, I literally have
then
3
yeah.
modifiers. I'll give you my lowest one.
Yeah.
9.
All right, so 9.
Read 'em and
LJ got a 2.
Oh shit. Okay.
Wow.
I got a 22.
You remember to add your modifier, right? And that it wasn't just your
Yeah.
modifier, LJ?
No, that's what it is.
All right, 22 for Orla.
Yes.
Petra.
She got an 8.
8. And Festivus.
Festivus got a 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Goodberry for myself because I'm down to 7 hit points.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be helpful.
And I'm just gonna kind of lean into Tej while these berries that just came out of nowhere. Trying not to cry, as always.
All right.
Conceal, don't feel.
Don't let them know.
But now they know.
Yeah. They gonna learn today.
Festivus
All
will
right.
pull out from the
Festivus.
bag of holding a
Festivus.
cask of ale and start pouring everybody drinks. We earned this morning, but I guess better late than never.
Well, I think we should give Orla a couple of those sandwiches. She's looking a little peckish, even for her.
Oh, yeah, right, way ahead of you. And he pulls out 2 sandwiches with the crusts cut off because he knows his sister doesn't like their crust.
Just like
and-
tea sandwiches.
see, 7. Take another 15 hit points, Orla.
Thank you, brother. That's very kind of you.
And how are you feeling now?
Much, much better. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. It's
Okay.
weird playing such a good character. I like it.
Oh man, you guys have done so well. You guys have done really well. I'm very pleased.
So, I'm chopping Balwin's head off.
Oh yeah.
Walking down to the docks, and I am beyond fucking angry now. I am full on rage mode.
Mm-hmm.
If you know this head, come and fight me now. I will take you all on.
Make a perception check, and Sylvanas also make a perception check with advantage.
You remembered the name.
19. I did.
Yeah. Sylvanas got a 20.
A nat 20?
No, dirty 20.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, both Eldra and Sylvanas, just from different perspectives, you actually see someone that you recognize. You recognize them immediately. The rivals of House MaLorian. House Kalak. And the Axon of House Kalak is standing on the dock, actually standing in front of the ship that Tej had indicated previously. And she sees the head that you're carrying, and you gather that her family and her have watched the fight that just happened. And she just stands and stares for a minute, and then she steps aside. And she continues stepping off of the pier, and she steps onto thin air, and you see a very small disc underneath her feet, and she floats away on this disc, leaving you. And you see all around the dock, standing up from hidden positions, these individuals, cloaked, hidden, begin to move away from the docks, all dressed in Kalak colors.
Can I have Sylvanas kind of like fly high to make sure they're actually fucking leaving?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm gonna send
another perception check, please. At advantage.
Because he burb.
Yep.
He talent burb. Okay. That is a 24.
24.
Yes.
Yes. It looks as though they are dispersing and letting you leave.
So once I gather this information from my burb, I'm gonna kind of like look to the family and be all like, we should get going, and we should also probably make sure that they didn't trap the boat.
And Tej was like, I'll go first. I didn't get hurt back there, so let me do it. And he makes his way up the gangplank, and he's gone for a little bit. And you see him kind of bustling about, checking the exterior of the hull, and then you see him disappear below decks to check the hold. And it takes a few minutes before he reappears, and with him are about 10 crew members, and you can see all of them kind of rubbing their wrists, and some of them are removing gags from their mouths. And he comes back to all of you and says, well, I may have to do some hiring, because apparently all of my crew was taken captive, but they're free now. and they are, for the most part, still willing to sail. We lost a few, and he kind of glares at a couple of guys walking off, but we have enough to make it work.
We'll do
the
our
ship is
best
fine.
to help as well.
Oh, I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Orla, I have an idea.
Yes.
Tell me what you think about this. Take Tej's crew, and let's take another ship. Not Belwyn's or Tej's ship, because those are the two they're expecting. Send those ships out into the bay, into the sea. Let them go, and let's take a third ship and go a separate direction from them. And see if maybe we don't get followed.
Well, it's not my decision alone. I don't
No,
know
that's
much about
fair.
ships. I don't know if we could even plausibly man between us and Tej and his crew 3 ships. But
Well, I think I can go on to Belwyn's and convince that captain to sail a different direction. Tej's ship may be a little bit of a challenge, so maybe we just leave it here and then we take a third one. Hobert, what was the family who just left?
That was House Kalak.
Okay. I'm safe to assume that each family would have a ship at at these docks. Okay. So I would like to I'd like to go on Belwyn's ship.
Okay.
And see if there's any crew, and in particular captain.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to find. It is the Frosted Spear, and the gangplank is down as it always is.
Okay.
And the captain is resting within the captain's quarters, but I assume you kind of just open the door unceremoniously.
Head.
Yeah. And you just hear holy shit!
Yeah, exactly. So, I have no beef with you. You've done nothing to my family. Here's the deal. You take this ship, sail the exact direction that Belwyn told you to sail, and you do not stop. And if you want me to roll intimidation, I will.
Yeah, it's going to be a low DC. But, roll intimidation with advantage.
Nat 20.
Holy crap-a-doo. Yeah, you have terrified this person. It's a little gnome fella. And he is absolutely horrified by the sight of his former employer's head being carried by this rather large individual. He musters the rest of the crew, and they begin sailing once you are off deck.
Perfect. All right. Tej.
Yes.
What do you think is a good play from here? Do you think we send your ship off in another direction, and you get the family ship that we choose to steal and go in another direction?
Well.
And LJ, you're really sneaky with getting around things. What do you think about this plan? And Petra, what do you think? And Festivus.
This is just ships. I've never actually left the city. I don't know. He just shrugs.
Right, so goes back to his bag. How you doing, buddy?
What do you think?
I'm a little curious. Then he's gonna turn to his bag and just kind of pull it open. He's not trying to be discreet anymore.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. It's like, so Goo, what do you think? What do you think about this situation?
I know nothing of ships. Feed me.
Okay, so he looks at his weapons belt, and he has like 2 whole daggers that he doesn't really use, but they're nice. And he pulls out a nice dagger, and he drops it into the bag.
Just wait, LJ. Your bag
Hold
eats
on,
things.
hold on. Go ahead, Goo. Enlighten me. What do you think?
Delicious.
Your bag eats things.
Take
it
the lily.
stinks.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over.
What did he just say? Take
He
the
said,
lily?
take the lily. He doesn't know. He's a
Take the
goo.
lily.
That's what he said.
Petra's
That's what he said. My wise patron, he says it.
Petra's gonna say in a really confused voice, "Hello, Goo."
Let's see. Yeah,
We
yeah.
see
I'll say.
Sylvanas flying around.
Yes, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Sylvanas spot a ship that is called the Lily?
You are standing in front of one called the Wilted Lily. Not one just called the Lily.
That is. All right.
Tej's ship is the...
Yeah. Tej suggests to you that you could swap colors. Because by the time just take down the sails of one ship, transfer them to another, and vice versa.
Okay.
Is there a very neutral noble family? Like they don't get super like they have their success and they're relatively happy with it?
I would say yeah, House Even. EVIN.
We could swap sails with them. They aren't currently in, from my experience, in the social world. They aren't very... They're not negatively engaged.
Not terribly ambitious.
Yeah, they're not... I don't think anyone would actively be after them.
No, that's a very good point. How quickly can your crew swap colors? Because, as you know,
let's see,
time is of the essence, and if that's going to take time, do you think we need to prepare for more enemies to approach?
Give me 15 minutes. I'll get the whole crew on it.
Well, then we should get a hold up on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you do. And Tej and his crew very efficiently swap colors. And you are ready to set sail.
All right. I don't know why you kept him secret.
You know why. You know what I spent my life trying to be. It was the only thing I was good at.
It's true.
Well, not the only thing.
I understand.
Tej is blushing a deeper shade of purple than normal.
Keep that mushy talk up, and I will tell them what I saw in the garden.
Even deeper shade. And he just goes to the helm.
You do your captain things, dear.
Nods.
But like I said, trying to become our family's accent was very important to me.
Yes,
guess it doesn't matter now.
And wouldn't have accepted you with a drow, no matter how real the love was.
It's maybe him being a drow, maybe the fact that he just the other nobles.
They're real noble right now. Can you believe Belwyn? Me boy.
DM.
Yes.
So, you and I had talked a little bit that because Orla was the one that aggressively pursued.
Hi, Breeze.
Becoming the House Axon after their father. And we had talked a little bit about maybe at one point Orla having picked up on some of the things their parents had been up to. Would you say, like, if I make like a history check or something, I could share with the family what I might have known or my suspicions that I racked with denial because I didn't want to believe it?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. No, we're not rolling that dice. It's been rolling not
Can
so
I say
good.
while this is happening, Lemonjello, he finds like a barrel or a crate or something, and he kind of quietly walks over to it, and he takes a seat, and he kind of just drops his face into his hands, and he just sits there. Everything that happened just now is catching up with him, and he's got to cope with it for a second. So
having a moment.
Yeah.
That was a 22.
22. Okay. I will say that you remember a couple of odd things that your parents would occasionally they would sneak out. Well, not really sneak, but they would leave without really telling anybody where they were going, what they were doing. And when they came back, they looked tired. They looked drawn. They didn't speak much. They didn't look happy. And you remember them making references frequently to the five of you being the keys to the future of Odosia. This was something that they spoke of regularly. And I will say that it is at that point you remember the memento that each of you has had pretty much since birth. You each have an iron key that they are all identical to one another. You don't know where they go. You don't know what they do. But it seemed important to your parents.
So, recalling this, she kind of...
I will say that you never saw anything to indicate treason.
So, she kind of lifts the collar of her dress a little bit and pulls out the key that she's always worn around her neck. And she, like, holds it in her hand and rubs her thumbs over it, and she's like, our parents used to refer to us as the keys to the future of the city, or the city that we are currently behind. But right now I have an odd feeling that keys might be the key to our escape. And maybe we aren't meant to escape. Maybe we're meant to fix everything. Maybe we're meant to reform everything. I don't know. But I do know in my heart, and just from studying so closely with our parents, that I never picked up anything that could have been treasonous by our laws.
Well, keys we may be, but I don't think we're in a position to take down every other noble house, just the five of us.
Maybe it's not meant to be just the five of us.
Who do you think would join us?
I don't know. Our parents always... They would leave often, as you know, and not really tell us where they were going. Maybe if it was anything treasonous, maybe they were trying to arrange for a way to change the way things were.
Did you ever hear Mom and Dad mention any names of people that we hadn't met? Like you were far higher up in their standings and in amongst the noble houses than I was, as simply a servant of Helm.
DM.
I'm trying to recall if they mentioned names that you wouldn't know.
Yeah, names that I wouldn't have a face to go with it.
No.
Or maybe I was just introduced to them in passing, but nothing serious.
No, they never really spoke of anyone that you hadn't met. But this is leading into the denouement of this one shot. So if there are any other, like, you guys can continue the conversation. I'm just saying, like, this line of thinking is leading into the ending.
Okay. Well, I can't possibly recall anyone that I can't put a face to. Not that I know of. Everything I ever heard was in passing, or the occasional just wandering eyes of Father's desk. You know, things like that. You see a letter, you just have to read it. I don't know. Maybe we should just focus on resting for a little while before we can do anything to help Tej with the ship.
Tej.
Yes.
Do you know of any coves that we could harbor in, maybe for an evening and a day or two, that aren't too far away from here?
Yes, I do. There are a few. I'll find us one that's welcoming.
I would greatly appreciate that. Sorla, I think we set up in a cove, rest up, gather our emotions, have our moments, and then make a decision whether we continue forging our own path and hope that fortune's tide is good to us, or whether we go back home and fix this mistake.
Okay. Well, I know our siblings, and she goes to reference to the 3 younger ones, are probably absolutely sick and tired of always hearing the back and forth between the older siblings. We're becoming too much like mother and father.
Well, someone has to, but I agree.
Let's rest.
Okay. So you all get a good night's rest, and now we enter the epilogue here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in turn, I will set the scene, and I will ask each of you what your character would like to accomplish in Amasa. Because Tej and the rest of the crew eventually convince the 5 siblings that it would be safest to travel to the port city of Amasa, a neutral territory in these parts, to make a new life for yourself, but also spend time investigating where you can and making new connections in trying to discover where your parents misstepped in their trust. And so you're in Amasa, and let's assume that each of you takes a path to do whatever you want for a while. So let's go to Eldra. What would Eldra want to do with his time in Amasa? This will become canon.
That's so neat.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what? Come back to me,
Okay.
please.
Does anyone have an answer ready? Yep. Go ahead, Orla.
So, Orla, now that their noble house is no longer relevant, after kind of, at least not relevant in the way that she was always working towards, after grieving for a little while, she would have eventually married Tej. And if the guild that kind of like formed to run Amasa.
Yep.
If that guild doesn't already exist,
it's in its infancy.
I would say that she takes all of her expertise with working with people.
I knew it.
being someone that knows how people want to work. She would become the first guild master and build up that more of a democracy to run Amasa. And on her downtime, she would, using Tej's connections, would start hiring like private investigators like Threll's ancestor to start doing the footwork to research what happened to her parents.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Who wants to go next? I knew you were going to pick the guild. I knew it. I was like,
my character.
Yep.
I could try going for for a second. Okay, so we'll say LJ had a very hard time recovering after that. Because I feel like he was a very kind of spoiled, if anything, and he was kind of like a mama's boy or whatever. So like all that was just a lot for him, and it took him a while to get out of the slump that probably followed. But he got out of it. And he started going into the darker arts of magic and like warlock work and stuff like that, trying to kind of develop, I guess, like an underground circle of battle mages, if anything, and like just working on building trust between the circle and like having a loyal party that he kind of oversaw and like stuff like that. And he was very low key about it, as he usually is. And yeah, that's usually. And then like he'd go and like bother his siblings every once in a while, kind of like just like swoop in like Aladdin or something, like, oh hey, what's up? I'm still alive. Okay, bye. And then he's very erratic now that he's not like under the nobility situation. So,
right.
That's what I picture for LJ.
Okay, just so you know, so now Amasa has an underground circle of battle mages that you have to come up with a name for.
Okay, yeah. I'll do it. I'll come up with something clever.
All right, cool. Next.
I could try going for Petra.
All right.
All right, so Petra, she has probably lived a very sheltered life, being the youngest, the baby. So, I feel like after, like, when they get to Amasa, of course she's gonna take a good while to readjust to this new lifestyle, this new place. And what she's going to do is,
God damn it.
she is...
Sorry, I just read the chat.
Oh.
Evocate
God,
Club.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Continue.
Alright, yes. But yeah, she's gonna become very, like, not obsessed, but her interest is gonna become very focused on helping and maybe, like, leading shelters for people that might need it. So she's eventually going to branch away from Amasa and create, like, maybe, like, safe houses for people that need them.
Nice. All right. That's cool. All right. Who's next?
I can go.
All right.
Festivus would have first established a front for himself, an acceptable front. He opens a hot and toasty sandwich shop, and
They all meet there.
their best seller is a super spicy grilled cheese that he calls the Fireball.
Okay.
And he uses that as a source of money and a way to start a well received life out there that's like totally not suspect by anyone. And he starts he takes his R&R at what the first like receptive monastery that he can find, and then he starts really working on the key situation. He's really jacked up about the keys, and he wants to know what exactly they're made of. Are they enchanted? Where did their parents get them? Why are there so many? You know, like he's basically going to do everything he can to find out everything he can about the keys. Because if they ever go back, he wants to know, if at all possible, exactly what these things open.
Okay.
And while he's at it, he's going to be feeding people sandwiches.
Dig it. All right. So you're gonna have to come up with a name for this grilled cheese establishment franchise, because 200 years later, it's now a franchise. All right, Eldra.
Because hot and toasty cheese, yeah.
So, upon landing at Amasa, the first thing Eldra wants to do is make sure that his family is safe and well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So he joins the town guard, looks for a church that respects and honors Helm, and pays his respects there as a good paladin does, and continues working with the town guard until basically Petra's old enough to get out of the house. And Festivus as well, because now feels like he is the patron of the family,
right?
And he just can't stomach the idea of losing any of his siblings. He didn't do something. He knows that LJ is going to end up dying a gruesome, crazy death, but he's at ease with that fact because it's genuinely what LJ wants. Right?
That's fair.
Whereas, like,
Yep.
And he knows that Festivus is going to go off and do like some random things that he doesn't understand, and he's okay with that because that's what Festivus has always done. He understands religion and he understands all these other great things, but he doesn't get the fucking monks. Like, what the hell? Him and Orla are always going to be close, but he knows that Orla's main goal is to eventually achieve life as a noble woman. So he just wants to provide her a base of operations to do so. And he's not too sure where Petra's going in life, but he wants her to have that the ability to choose without fear. So he's going to basically become like a good working guard.
Okay. I love all of this. We've got some really good canon lore set up for the Fortune's Tide campaign now. So, scene fades to black. Everyone is, if not happy, they're at least pursuing their own destiny. And if this were a movie, the screen would then begin to fade in, and you would see a little title card that says 20 years later. You've all been brought back together. Festivus, Orla, Tej have made a discovery. You all, under disguise and papers forged magically by Tej's contacts, go back to Odosia. You infiltrate. yourselves into other houses. Until one night you are left alone, and you all meet at the ruins that have been left standing of your once great home. Tej steps forward, and having picked up a few things, waves his hand over a section of stone, and it kind of glows faintly from under the years of dust and rubble that have accumulated on top of it, and you hear a very soft and the stone shifts, and they're revealing a small staircase. The siblings and Tej head down, and at the bottom of this staircase there is a massive stone door, and inset into this door are 5 identical keyholes. Each sibling produces their key. They are inserted and turned. And as they are turned, you see these runes all along the wall, like completely covering this wall, just begin to just in rapid succession fire, and the magic users among you would know that these are protections against scrying, any sort of divination magic, any detection that would be used, these runes will protect against. And in the center of this stone door, a smaller archway appears and swings open, revealing a chamber that is filled with gold, silver, platinum, tapestries, magical items, it looks like, things that have been untouched by time. But next to those, on a desk stacked 9 high, are these thick, leather-bound books, each one with a house name inscribed on it. And as you go in and begin looking through these books, they are accountings of all of the noble houses' dealings with the Tenasians. They are accountings of all of the treasonous and seditious acts every other noble house in this city have committed. And they are all written either in your mother, many of your mothers, and many of your fathers' handwritings. Each of you've had multiple of both. But it seems that every member of House MaLorian was dedicated to uncovering these truths. Using this knowledge, the 5 of you begin to dismantle the political system in Odosia, one by one, felling the great houses. And, using this knowledge, you establish a new noble house. House LeMorian. A new beginning. 200 years later, the descendants of House LeMorian are all the Axons of the 9 great houses of Odosia. They all sit on the Enoxian Council, and they are the ones spearheading the changes that we will see in the Fortune's Tide campaign. Congratulations, guys. You got the good ending.
I have so many chills right now.
I have goosebumps.
So
Literally.
like goosebumps, guys.
That was so
Oh my god.
so good.
That was amazing. To come out on top.
So guys,
Good ending.
That was the
We
best
the bosses.
possible ending. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the best possible ending, and it worked out so well that all of you chose races that wouldn't live 200 years.
Yes.
Because I was like, oh shit, what if one of like, because I initially thought Hannah had chosen elf. I was like, fuck, because that means she's still gonna be alive. Like if they get the good
crazy,
ending,
though.
right? Yeah, like it would be cool, but it would also be like, not the air of finality to it. So yeah, no. This was the best possible ending because the checks I was having you all make during the game were quite simply they were fate rolls. So if you and I was averaging each time you rolled. That was why the amount that you could roll kept decreasing, but the DC kept going up. So I was weighing the successes versus failures. You had all successes.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
set the DCs pretty high, but the averages that you guys kept coming out to was enough.
Oh my
So you succeeded on all of them. And I really want to read the shitty ending.
Please, I want
All
to
right.
know.
Okay. All right. Real quick. Yeah. All right. It's still not terrible, really. I mean, it is, but there's a little bit of a happy ending. So the bad ending, if you hadn't rolled so many successes, the siblings are captured by the Kalak family. One by one, they are subjected to magical interrogation and brainwashing. Festivus managed to escape his captors, but was quickly shot down by the city guards as a fugitive from justice. His body was burned and his ashes scattered. LJ disappeared from his cell one night, leaving behind only a small bag. When the bag was turned inside out, it produced nothing but pitted and rusted weapons, frayed and torn clothing, and an iron key untouched by time or wear.
Oh my God.
This is the bad ending. Yeah, this is the bad ending. On the walls of his cell, in every language imaginable, was the word jigagoo. No one knew what it meant.
Crazy.
Eldra and Orla were executed shortly after capture, with their captors saying that they were spreading seditious and treasonous lies about the Anoxian Council. Petra was eventually convinced that her siblings had indeed conspired along with her parents against the Anoxian Council, and lived the rest of her life believing that her family had betrayed her.
No.
That was so that no, hold on, I'm not done. So that was the bad ending. That was the really bad ending, and I was gonna leave it there for like a couple of seconds, and then be like, okay, we begin to fade out, and then we fade back in on the ruins of the family estate and a hobbling figure approaching the ruins. The figure mutters some words and gestures at the rubble, and some of the beams and stone begin to melt away, dissolving into dust. The figure approaches a slab of stone in the floor and quickly traces out a rectangle in the air, then thrusts its hand downward. As dust settles, a trap door is revealed and the figure disappears down into it. Standing at the bottom of a small set of stairs, the figure looks upon a doorway with 5 identical keyholes in it. 4 of the keyholes have iron keys resting within them. The hood pulls back, and we see a heavily scarred and withered Tej. He pulls the final key from his cloak and looks at it, and gives it a small kiss, and places it into the keyhole, and in turn turns each one. The runes flash, the doors open. Tej steps into the massive chamber, crammed with books and papers and wealth. His eyes adjust for a moment, and he picks up the first book with the Kalak family name on it. As he reads, his eyes begin to fill with tears, and he sinks to the floor, clutching the book to his chest, and he whispers, "Justice, my love. Justice." So that was That was the bad, but still like ending.
That was a really good ending. It just hurt a lot.
I married this guy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that was the one where I was just sitting here like, you go, Tej. God damn it, Tej. Oh man.
I'm so sad.
It's hot in here. They're sweating.
Yeah, exactly. My eyes are sweating.
Oh Jesus.
You're not crying. You're
All right.
crying.
They won't
Oh
stop.
my god.
So yes, you guys got the good ending, the best
Thank God.
possible ending. Oh man, thank you all so much for joining us for this sad fest until the very end.
We got through a one shot.
Yeah, we did. We did it, guys.
Finally!
I
This
know.
is like the first time since my one.
Oh man. Oh, I'm so excited. This was so much fun.
This was
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Man. Thank you
Can
for
you
joining
see the
us.
tears?
I can't.
Can you see
Oh shit. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Uh,
Oh man, this was a fun one, but a rough one in a lot of ways. But we did it. We got through it. The Enoxian Council is now populated by decent people for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, you always got a few bad apples, but
Yeah. I mean, some of them are LJ spawn.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
want take ownership for that. Like,
yeah, Lemonjello's like his descendant's name is Lamito, and Lamito.
Lamito is the piece of shit that breaks the good streak. That's I
Yeah.
already see it.
Lamito.
He,
Except for Lamito's like the dumb cousin, and they're like, no, Lamito, can't do that.
I didn't know Lamito was
Oh my
also
goodness.
but okay.
but he's smart enough to not be convinced to vote with other people just because that's the way they want him to vote. Like he's not super smart, but like people are like, "Hey, Lamito, vote with me. I'll give you $1." And he's all like, "Fuck you."
I'm voting for myself.
I'm gonna
And
say
he-
that Petra has a great grandson named Peter, and he's gonna be the best person ever.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so
All right.
sad.
Oh.
I'm so happy.
All right.
I'm so sad.
So
I'm
this
glad
was-
Tej didn't die.
Oh, this was so much fun to do, like a lore basing episode.
That was
So
amazing.
yeah.
This was amazing.
Again, thank you all so much for joining us. We will be should be back to normal next week. JJ will resume helming this shenanigans-filled campaign.
Hobert, you've inspired me now.
And
my arc might be 11 episodes.
oh, well, let's do it. Yes, Hannah will be taking over after JJ, so you'll get to see Hannah run for us for a little while. And
Right.
this upcoming Tuesday, DeForest will be running Crownsbane on Tuesday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And as Hannah said earlier, keep your eyes open for a special project we have in the works. It's going to be super cool. We're really excited about it. So we are going to go and let you enjoy the rest of your evening or morning, depending on when you're watching this. Thank you so much for the continued support. Get us to 150 and then 200 followers for Honey Heist and Battle Royale. Until we see you again, everyone have a wonderful few days, and don't forget to keep it friendly. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.